And we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to A Bookish Moment. I'm Sarah Burr.
And I'm JC Kenney, and we got a super fabulous celebratory show for y'all today. So, Sarah, I think it's time to get bookish.
It is time to get bookish. We are delighted to have a release day celebration for our wonderful guest, Debra Sennefelder, who is joining us today to celebrate the release of A Corpse Among the Carolers, which is just so full of Christmas cheer. Can't wait to dive in. But to let everybody know who is watching, today's episode of A Bookish Moment is sponsored by The Cozy Thrill. We couldn't have a better sponsor for today's episode because The Cozy Thrill helps set your reading mood and create dedicated me time with cozy mystery-themed book boxes that bring your story to life. The perfect bookish gift to take self-care to the next level. You can learn more at thecozythrill.com. That website is available in our show notes for you guys. It's a really, really cool service, a box of goodies that's just so cozy. You're going to love it. And speaking of loving it, we are so excited to have you here, Debra, to celebrate the release of your latest food blogger mystery, book 7 in the series. Congratulations and welcome to A Bookish Moment.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today celebrating my release day with you and your viewers. So let's start talking about
let's get
Christmas cozies and get into this.
Let's get cozy. Let's get Christmassy. We've got lots of folks chiming in. We've got Mizan, Claudia, Farmhouse Reader, Regina saying good afternoon and hello. Mizan wishes you a happy book birthday, Debra. So thank you everybody for being here with us live. And Debra, to kind of set the scene for food blogger mystery, book 7, we have Hope Early. She is getting ready for Christmas. And unfortunately, we have, oh my gosh, gorgeous cover too. Oh,
love that.
Love it. We've got one of our furry companions on the cover as well. Tell us a little bit about what Hope gets up to in this latest installment.
Well, it's Christmas time, and Hope, it's her Super Bowl Christmas, and she is all in this year because she's involved. Her relationship with Ethan has blossomed. The 2 daughters are spending time with her, so it's going to be a fabulous Christmas. And she wants to give Ethan's daughters the Christmases that she grew up with, and part of that includes going to the Jingle Bell Stroll. And unfortunately, there is an incident. The gentleman who is playing one of Santa's helpers, in case there are any little ones listening, he is one of his helpers, and he's unfortunately murdered during the event.
Man, not cool.
I know, not cool at all. And she is pulled into the murder like she always is, and we get to spend Christmas time with her. We get to go through the mystery with her, and we get to see relationships change and bloom through the book. And it was just an absolute joy to write.
The relationships themselves. Sorry, JC. I just want that point about the relationships. I really want to highlight just like how much growth we see in all of these characters. And I think that it really speaks to your writing, Debra, of how we're on book 7 and we're still seeing new things happen to these folks. And they're still, we're seeing weaknesses, we're seeing strengths, we're seeing people come to compromises. And I know that for your readers and your fans, that seeing those developments is really something special for them. And I think that maybe it's the magic of Christmas, but there's something that, bringing people together, especially with kind of this new family unit that Hope is a part of with Ethan and his daughters. Because he also, we also have their mother to contend with. So I'm curious to know, like, how much of this book do you feel as the author was driven by those relationships versus driven by the mystery itself?
Um, I think the relationships help support the mystery, and the mystery supports the relationships, because I don't think that if you take either one of them out, one of those elements out of the book, it's just going to be flat. You don't have that, the character enrichment, the character growth, the character involvement. If I didn't have those relationships change over time, some change is good, and some of the change is not so great. And I just felt that I couldn't let certain characters stay stagnant or not change, but yet you can't change too much. So it's a balance, but I think I needed both those elements to work together. And some things happened in the book that I didn't expect to happen in this book at this point in time, but everything just worked out, and it was there. I mean, when I sat down originally, thought about the book and started thinking about what could happen, who would be murdered, why the person would be murdered. And then, I have the, Hope's sister and Drew and Moretta and Ethan and all the characters that support Hope. I just felt that I needed to have some changes, and it made sense because everyone has been pivoting a little bit through all the books. So I believe that the book can be read as a standalone, but I think a true pleasurable reading experience would come if you read from book one. To see the character growth, and some characters really don't want to change, and one of them is Moretta. She just doesn't change. So and that's fine. I love her the way she is, prickly and all.
And so, kind of along that line, I guess, for folks who may be a little bit, may have missed the train so far, no excuses now, folks. You're here. If you haven't started reading Debra's fabulous books, this is number 7. You got catching up to do. Take us back to the beginning, Debra. Can you kind of set the scene of the community? Maybe give us a little more background about Hope. We know she's a food blogger, but kind of give us that big picture kind of thing.
Well, in the first book, The Uninvited Corpse, she returned home after a trifecta of disasters in her life. She ended up divorced. She lost a reality baking competition TV show, and she had to quit her job in order to participate in the competition. So she had no job. 50 Minutes of Fame. That was a disaster, and her marriage broke up. So she returned home, and she bought an old farmhouse. She got some chickens, and she just went forward on her food blog. She had been a food blogger previously, but it was a hobby for her. Out of her apartment, she just did, it was small, but she realized that this was her passion. She was not going to go back to magazines, and she has built her livelihood now on food blogging. And in her hometown of Jefferson, her sister lived there with her family, and it was really interesting bringing her back to the place where she started at a very different point in her life, and that was a lot of fun. And then watching her now as the books progress, reconnecting with those characters, like her best friend Drew and Moretta, who's known her since she was a child. And so it was just a very interesting path for her to take. And she wanted to come home, but she didn't want to come back home. But now she's back there, and this is where she loves being, and she would never want to leave.
And she's flourishing, and she has, the new, or a relatively new relationship that she is excited to spend Christmas with her boyfriend Ethan and his daughters, which I think is just a really sweet a sweet way to convey like how much she wants to be a part of their family and be there for them as a family figure. One thing that I was really curious about, Debra, where this is book 7, and it's hard because I know that when I am writing a cozy mystery that I'm just like, you know what, my sleuth has had a couple of cases under her belt. Like, of course she's going to get involved when a dead body shows up. Like, why wouldn't she? But sometimes, you need a little bit, you need to give our readers a little bit more than that. So I'm curious if you can share with us how the circumstances of the murder mystery and how Hope finds herself getting involved this time around? Do you find that it's easier as the books go along, or is it something that you're like, okay, like how do I put things on the line for her? How do I raise the stakes in this particular installment?
Oh my gosh, it's so hard to do. You need for her, the whole premise of the book, you need for her to get involved in the case, but you need to give her a good reason to get involved in the case. And you can't make it so reckless that she's truly putting her life in danger, because any sane person would not do that. I wouldn't if I was Hope, but then again, I'm not her. She's the character.
Not me. No way.
So it is so difficult to, it's a like walking a tightrope. You know, you gotta bring her to the edge of danger, but not too much, because then she's just like, you know, going down to the dark basement. Well, turn the light switch on. I mean, you don't do that. And I really work hard not to make it so cavalier, like, oh, another dead body fell down. Oh, I stumbled over another one. That's hard. I don't want to trivialize these incidents, because, you know, too many people deal with things like this on a daily basis, and they've had it happen in their lives. So it's really hard. For this, you know, she first encountered the murder victim and one of the suspects involved in an argument. And that just piqued your curiosity. I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. You know, that would pique my curiosity too. And then, you know, let's step further. You know, the primary suspect's sister-in-law talks to Hope and asks for help. And she really doesn't want to get involved, but she keeps getting pulled in because she has a reputation for being able to help. I wouldn't say solve the cases, because she's not an active part. She's not going around town being a detective. People just talk to Hope. That's who she is. She brings cookies. They talk to her. It's that simple. She's one of those people. And so her insight, perhaps, her ability to get people to open up to her, puts her in the position to gather information. That's pretty much what I think, for me, that's what Hope does, gathers information. And then she will have her little gang help her pull the information together and try to solve it, you know. And I love when I have Jane and Sally together with Drew. I love that. And a few books ago, I brought Claire into it. And I just love those scenes. That's where the hot chocolate bar scene came in, putting together, talking about a murder, trying to solve it, listing all the suspects, their motivations, while they're having cookies and hot cocoa. I mean, it's...
I always say sleuthing is more fun with friends, and I love it when cozies embrace that. And speaking of wonderful cozies that we're going to be embracing, A Corpse Among the Carolers, you are doing a fabulous giveaway for us this afternoon. We have a physical copy up for grabs to one lucky viewer who joins us live. Deborah, would you like to share what the magic word is that our folks will want to type into the chat to enter into the giveaway?
It is candy cane.
Candy cane. Perfect for the spirit of things, and one of my favorite things to stir hot chocolate with. We have to talk about hot chocolate, and we have to talk about because this is a food blogger mystery, we have these amazing recipes at the back of the book, and that are incorporated throughout the story, that we get to revel in. I am curious, Deborah, what are some of your favorite, and maybe this is something like thinking back across the whole series, do you have a favorite, or maybe like top 3, top 5 recipes that you love, or just want to share with our viewers? It's like, these are some recipes that you can look forward to in this.
Well, in series wise, it was Hope's chocolate chip cookies. I think that was in the Uninvited Corpse. There was also the apple pie, which I make every year.
Ooh, yummy.
Yes.
Nice.
And in this book, of course, Among the Carolers, there's a few recipes, but my favorite ones in there is the eggnog scone recipe. I love those.
I can't imagine how that would taste except like perfect.
And you know what, that just, especially since we're talking food, it is this time of year where my wife and I, every Friday night, we're watching the Great British Baking Show. And so, we are, self-professed experts about all things baking, even though I don't go near the oven. But scones are hard to get right.
No,
They're not?
they're not.
Okay.
They're
Well,
not.
maybe they're just hard for me to get right then.
You
What's
need to
your
find the right
secret?
recipe.
Okay.
There's not. I have my favorite recipes that I've been making for probably over 30 years, and they've been in my books. And in fact, there's one on my website, the white chocolate raisin scone. And in the summer, I switched it up to white chocolate blueberry scones. Perfect. It never fails. So many of my friends have made that recipe, and it's absolutely delicious. So it's just
Okay.
finding
And
the right
so,
recipe.
okay. And so now you said these recipes are on your website then, correct?
That one for the
Okay.
white chocolate scone.
Okay. There you go,
Yes.
folks.
I love a good scone. I love a good scone. Eggnog, though, that seems like it would take the cake.
Mhm.
Deborah, we have Mizan. She had a comment for you about how much she loves your cover of the book.
Me
So
too.
we've got,
Me too.
DHB also chiming in with a hello. So thank you, everybody. And remember, type in Candy Cane for the opportunity to win a copy of A Corpse Among the Carolers. I would love to know, Deborah, how did you tell me about your title on what was, I guess maybe did the title come before the story? Did the title come after the story? It has such like a melodic ring to it, which works well with the fact that it's all a part of this the Jingle Bell Stroll and the scenario of which our corpse is found. So what's your process for coming up with those fabulous titles?
This one was a little harder than all the others. And I think it was the caroling event that threw me off for the title. So this book had probably about 2 other titles before my editor and I settled on this one. So this was definitely a collaborative job between us, find this title. And once we got it, it was like perfect. And then we got the cover. It was like perfect. It was like everything fell together.
Everything fell into place. What would you say what is Hope's favorite Christmas tradition, and what is your favorite Christmas tradition?
She loves to make a croquembouche.
Oh, I know what that is after watching all of the Great British Bake-Offs.
That is her tradition. And she loves that. And probably her next tradition, which is something that I've made a croquembouche before, but
Wow.
I prefer making cookies at Christmas.
Mhm.
I don't typically make what you would consider traditional Christmas cookies. I don't do the icing. I don't do the cutouts. I don't have the patience for that. My gingerbread men are always naked. I just don't have the patience. So I just will make, there have been years I made up to like 11 varieties of cookies for my trays.
Oh, wow.
But when I was working full time, I would just bring to work and my friends and neighbors. So that's what I love to do. And yes, Hope loves to do that too. And in the book, she does make her Christmas Eve deliveries.
I love it.
That's so cool.
JC,
So
I was just going to ask, do you have a favorite Christmas tradition? And asking our viewers as well, I would love to know, what are your favorite holiday traditions?
So probably one of our ones that every Christmas Eve, we watch Muppet Christmas Carol. We're huge Muppet fans here in the household, and we do that. Even my kids, they're adults, they still enjoy that when, if we can have them here. So how about you, Sarah?
I would say, I love the Muppet Christmas Carol. My favorite is just listening and singing to Christmas carols in general. So, and I also like to watch Christmas Vacation. That's my holiday movie pleasure. We've got Mizan saying how much she loves the Muppet Christmas Carol. I think that's the best Christmas Carol rendition that there is out there. DHB says Christmas cookie drop dough is a brilliant idea. Ooh, yummy. Oh gosh, I'm going to be so hungry after this. Keep the holiday traditions coming, you guys. And DHB also says Muppets were made for the adults.
Yeah. So Deborah, I've got to ask, speaking of Muppets, this gives me kind of a little bit. You do have somebody furry on the cover of the book.
Yes.
Could you tell our viewers who that is, and maybe, how that lovely creature managed to get top billing and be on the cover?
His name is Bigelow, and he has been with Hope since book 1. And he is a reader favorite. So he has been on the cover since book 1. And he got a front and center on this cover because I think it's the bed. I mean, are you not jealous of his bed?
It looks so cozy.
Totally.
My dog Connie was like, I want that. I'm like, no. So he is just, I love Bigelow. I cannot imagine a book without him in it. He's just a great dog.
We love our furry companions, both in cozies and in real life.
Indeed.
We have Regina saying that one of her favorite Christmas traditions is to discover new versions of A Christmas Carol. But she does love, we got a lot of Muppet Christmas Carol fans on here. Claudia too. I'm loving it. And the countdown begins until I can start listening to that CD. Oh gosh, CD. I'm dating myself. Streaming on it on whatever service. Deborah, so today is release day of A Corpse Among the Carolers, which is so exciting that we get to talk with you. How does it feel, and does it change from book to book? Just like when you have a new book out in the world, what's your celebratory process? Do you have like a special ritual that you do? Do you treat yourself to something fun, or do you just get right into writing the next book?
I do take a moment and celebrate. I do recognize what I've accomplished, and I have the honor of reading early reviews and seeing that readers have found it entertaining, that they have spent time with it, that they enjoyed it, and that for me is the celebration. But basically, I get back to work. I'm working on the next food blogger mystery right now, and I got my words in this morning. And then it left me the afternoon to deal with, some comments on social media, for emails from readers. So that's pretty much it. I will say the first book that I did get published, yes. I mean, it was monumental. It was amazing. It's just like I have to work.
Well, we love to hear that we have another adventure with Hope in store. Is there anything that you can tease us with about this next installment, or like the time frame that it takes place around, or what do we have to do to stay connected with you to make sure that we're in on everything that's happening in the food blogger mystery world?
Well, it takes place in winter. It's after Christmas, and it takes place in a lodge.
Ooh.
During a snowstorm.
Ooh.
Nice.
And for any further updates on the book, follow me on social media or on my newsletter.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I do, just a couple of additional comments. Mizan said that there's a cat she used to have who had a bed just like Bigelow's. So there we go. And Regina commented that her newest Christmas holiday tradition has been reading Christmas cozies right after Thanksgiving. So jumping right into the holiday vibe there. So Deborah mentioned you mentioned your website with this celebratory vibes going. Where can people find you? Do you have anything going on in person, or are you going to be visiting anywhere online in celebration of your release?
Well, I do have a lot of online events planned for November into December. We have a Facebook party. I'm going to be joining 5 other authors, and we're all going to be featuring our Christmas cozies. And I am going to be doing a Zoom call with Liz Arlen. She has a new release. I think it came out last month. I'm reading it now. I'm excited about it, and we're going to be talking books. And you just find me on my website and sign up for my newsletter, and all my dates for the various online events will be in my upcoming newsletters. So
Excellent.
Fabulous. And we have Regina asking, what about the Resale Boutique Mystery Series? Any updates that you can share with us about what's going on in that world?
well, I do have Kelly's next book outlined, and
Okay.
I've started writing it. That's all I can share right now.
Love it. Love to hear that we have more fabulous works of yours in store
Yes.
for us.
Indeed.
Deborah, it's always so wonderful catching up with you. Thank you for being here and sharing your time with us, especially on your very busy release day.
Yeah.
As we begin to wind down, we've talked about favorite Christmas traditions. You mentioned at one point in time that you had baked 11 different types of Christmas cookies. Do you have a Christmas cookie that rises above all the others, or do you have some that you can share with us? Like, what are your favorite Christmas cookies to make?
Well, there's a few that I do make year after year,
Mhm.
and I do experiment with a lot of different cookies every year. But over the past, or say 5 to 6 years, I have really decreased how many different varieties I make at Christmas. One of the cookies that always makes it into my holiday tray is the Christmas button cookies
Ooh.
that is in the book. The recipe for that cookie is in the book, so that one always makes it in. I love it.
I just love food so much. And talking food, hopefully we've gotten everybody super excited to go try out these wonderful recipes that are part of the entire Food Blogger mystery series.
Yes.
And be able to share your triumphs, or if in my case, it would be my fails, making recipes online. But it's always just like, I think that is one of the hardest things that, you know, the mystery can fall together really nicely, but like coming up with recipes, like, I don't know how you do it. I find that to be just absolutely amazing. So kudos, Deborah, for just being fabulous at what you do. And again, thank you so much for spending the afternoon here with us at A Bookish Moment. And to our wonderful viewers who joined us live, we have to do our giveaway
We do.
drawing.
All right.
And again, I'm going to give everybody like a minute to type in the word candy cane if you haven't already, to make sure that we get you in our giveaway. And while you are doing that, a reminder that tomorrow afternoon, we have another Bookish Moment. This time we are joined by romance author Liz Flaherty, one of JC's fellow Thule authors. So it'll be great to be able to talk with Liz about her latest release. And then we have a Bookish Hour airing this Thursday, which is November 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And our guest is Shelley Burbank. We're going to be talking about her new cozy mystery, Night Moves. And I'm very excited to talk with Shelley because it'll be the first time that we're having a conversation face to face. She's someone that I've been connected with online, so it'll be a fun time, and we hope that you can join us there. So our winner of today's giveaway is Mizan. Congratulations, Mizan. Mizan, you know the drill. Could you bump your mailing address to the top of my inbox with sending an email to giveaways@itsbookishtime.com. I will send that on over to Deborah so that you can get your fabulous copy of A Corpse Among the Carolers and be surrounded by some holiday cheer.
Indeed.
So again, Deborah, thank you so much for being here this afternoon. Congratulations on another wonderful release. Thank you for bringing the holiday spirit here today and to your readers. We need that cheer in the world. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I had a wonderful time.
And
I just want to say real quick, folks, don't forget, check out the Cozy Thrill. You know, they're helping us out. So thecozythrill.com.
yes, thank you again for our episode sponsor. To all of our wonderful viewers who joined us here live, we appreciate you being here with us. To our viewers who are watching us after the fact, we always love to read your comments. So feel free to leave some on our show today. And until we all connect next time, everybody, stay bookish. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.